So everybody talks about, or everybody says that UX is all about empathy, right? Empathy, user feelings, everything has to be about the users. But is it really the case in our real world business scenario? I have seen design teams have spent like countless weeks on on things like user interviews, user journeys, and all those user empathy related topics. So still the product didn't work well, right? Even if they are pretty good products, not only looking good, very much usable, feels very smooth, very efficient, but it didn't click with the real users. So why does it happen? Because they skip a very critical aspect, that is thinking first, then empathize later. So hi everyone, this is Himant, and this series is my way of sharing what actually works in the real world context, right? No hype, no trendy concepts, no theory, only practical things that works in the business world. Okay, so I have seen a flaw in our industry is design teams have overhyped or over focusing on the user empathy, right? They get the problem, they directly jump into interviewing users, creating journey maps, perfecting all those journey maps and all those things. Even though this happens, many of the time the product didn't work well. You know why? If you don't understand the business as a whole, right, they forget or they miss the point that the user empathy comes after when you have clarity on the business, you have clarity on the context of the user where it is operating, then also the technical constraint. When you understand all these aspects, then you go to user empathy, then this becomes much more usable and also much more useful. So so how I look at or how I approach these problems in my use cases is I use a three-layer UX as three-layer framework, right, for looking at it. So the first one is system thinking, then second one is user strategy, then the third one comes, and lastly comes the user empathy. Okay, so what I do in first step, system thinking, is I get to know about what is the workflow, right? The overall workflow of the user. Then what the business wants, what is the business logic, or what the business wants to achieve here. Then I go to the technical constraints, like what are the things, why it is happening, what are the challenges that come from the business side or technical side. Once I get a clarity on this aspect, the system aspect, right, the overall system aspect, then I jump to the user strategy. In the strategy here also there is no involvement of user till now. So in the strategy part, I map out what type of this is in the define stage, where I'm gathering information, no involvement of the user so far. So in the strategy part, I look at what the user wants to get it done and how our business or our business logic wants to help it here, and what are the current things that are possible or feasible, right? So after understanding all this, then I jump to the empathy part, where I map out empathize or humanize the entire understanding, so that make the questions in a way that now it solves the business problems that we want. If I take an example, right, if you see Apple, Google has shipped a lot of products, but not every product worked, right? You know why? The clarity of what are we selling and what is the need was missing. When that happens, the problem or the product is destined to fail. Okay, So, okay, I will give you another example of my real world scenario. I was designing one application for a technician in a manufacturing dashboard in a manufacturing setup. So what was the context was, I initially started thinking to do a user interview. But when I talked to one user, when I asked pretty of the questions like what is the problem and all those things, then the kind of response that I got from the user was not enough. Was not satisfactory. So that time I realized, okay, this is not something that I need to, this is not going to work. So I took one step back, right? I talked to the stakeholders, different stakeholders. I talked to the product managers in bit more detail, customer support teams, what are they talking about, then what the business wants to do here. What like the KPIs they want to target here. And also the technical team, what are the technical challenges that comes in this space. When I understood the clarity, then I talked to the users, and then my communication with the users, the type of question I was asking, it was much more refined and to the point, and then I got a very good response than I got from the first interview, right? So the framework the 3-layer framework that I just told, that is not from any theoretical thing. This is my own experience working on different projects, what works in a real world scenario. That is it. Because everybody talks about this user empathy is very, very important, which is this is very, very important, but this comes after you have clarity on the requirement. Only then we can get or humanize the experience. We are not going to solve every problem that user has. We are going to solve what our business is offering, or what solutions our business has, and how I can solve that for the user and make it much more smoother, so that the user will not feel anything while doing it. Oh yeah, so this was my understanding of think first, empathize later. So UX is not everything about, only about users. You have to understand the system as a whole. Only then you can provide, or you can build something that is sustainable, that is useful, and also that will last long. So what I have learned from my experience is, empathy is important, no doubt, but only after clarity does it make sense, right? Without clarity, if we empathize user, then there is no point. What problem we are solving, what challenges that a user, we are not clear about it, then the chances of the product getting fail will be higher, right? And the purpose of this research is to minimize the risk, right? Not maximizing it. So when you go in this order, first system thinking, then user strategy, then empathize, you will build a very strong product that not only sustainable, but also very useful for the user, and you will have a win-win situation both for the business and also for the users. If this give you a new perspective, please do subscribe, because I have only 72 subscribers, and I want to have at least 100 subscribers from this video. So yeah, anything, if you have any doubt or anything you want me to create videos on, please feel free to tell me in the comment section, or any guidance or any kind of mentorship related to how you want to appear for interviews or anything. Just hit me up in the comment section. I will try to make videos around it. And so this is it. So in the next episode in this series, I will talk about how I use first principle thinking to solve my problems, my project problems. So this is it for this video. See you in the next one. Take care.